and in a trailer for Sunday's highly anticipated first solo TV interview since quitting Britain, the Duke of Sussex tells of shaking hands of mourners which were wet with tears. He also shared poignant moments, confessing he had been unable to show any emotion in that moment. The Duke opens his heart about the saddest moments of his life in Harry, the interview, which is to be shown at 9 p.m. on ITV1 and ITVX. He recalls how he and Prince William, then aged 12 and 15, walked outside Kensington Palace after her 1997 funeral to thank members of the public. In a trailer released on Saturday night, Harry tells interviewer Tom Bradby, "Everyone knows where they were and what they were doing the night my mother died." He adds, "I cried once, at the burial, and I go into detail about how strange it was and how actually there was some guilt that I felt and I think William felt as well, by walking around the outside of Kensington Palace. There were 50,000 bouquets of flowers to our mother. And there we were shaking people's hands, smiling. And the wet hands we were shaking, we couldn't understand why their hands were wet, but it was all the tears that they were wiping away. Everyone thought and felt like they knew our mum, and the two closest people to her, the two most loved people by her, were unable to show any emotion in that moment." In his explosive memoir, due out on Tuesday but already accidentally on sale in Spain, Harry describes how he and William joined Father Charles, grandfather Prince Philip and Uncle Charles Spencer in Diana's funeral procession. Few who watched on TV will forget the heartrending sight of Diana's two young sons walking with their heads bowed as they followed their mother's coffin. Harry tells in his book how he kept an eye on his older brother William, who he calls Willie, to give him strength. "I remember feeling numb. I remember clenching my fists. I remember keeping a little piece of Willie in the corner of my eye because it gave me strength," he said. Elsewhere in the book, the prince paints his father as cold and insensitive. Jonathan Dimbleby, in whose 1994 TV interview Charles admitted he had been unfaithful to Diana, said the king would be upset by Harry's revelations. Although he has not spoken with the monarch since extracts from the Duke's book Spare began appearing, the 78-year-old journalist said, "I can only imagine he is extremely pained, very frustrated and would be very anxious to bring it to an end because his concern, as demonstrated since he came to the throne impeccably, is to act as head of state for a nation which we all know is in a pretty troubled condition. I think he will think this gets in the way. But he will get on with the job."